Oh. Hey, what's going on, guys? All right. Let's see. Just check. How's it going, everyone? Was gonna do the countdown thing to start us off, but that's fine. We will not today. Let's see. Just make sure everything's looking good, sounding good. Yeah. You guys can hear me okay? See me okay? Hello. Happy Friday afternoon. What's going on, everybody? Hey, Dr. Zidama and Mateos. Hey, guys. Let's get right into it just because we've got, let's see. That way. There we go. A little bit more. Okay. We've got a fair amount to build here. Like that. Okay. And Cobb, Gerald. Hey guys. Bro, mine comes in tomorrow. Hell excited. Awesome. Yeah. Very quite interesting build ahead of us, I think, with this one. Go ahead and get right into it. What's this saying? The highest level of articulation of the SD series and various gimmicks are explained in a color page spread. So it's just like on the after the parts list, the next page, it's like, skip ahead to page 10 and 11 so you can see this page. But yeah, interesting. Indeed, a lot of quite nice armor moving gimmicks, stuff like that built in for today. Ash, hello. Hey, Mercenary, what's up? Eric, what up? Been really wanting this kit. Can't wait to see the build. Yep. Newer subscriber to the channel, Gerald, hi, and welcome to the channel. If you're a newer subscriber, chances are you may not have seen too many live builds yet, but to you and to everybody else watching today, let me know if you have questions about the build or just questions about anything in general, anything you guys may want to ask about. And as always, if you guys do have questions, feel free to use all caps when you put the question in the chat. Just makes it easier for me to see. If you're trying to ask a question and I missed it in the chat or something, you're trying to make sure that I see it, you can put that in all caps. All right, let's building the head here first. Zoom in a bit. It's a little bit closer for you guys to see. And first off, I'll say that the silver parts for this, which there's really not all that many, but there's a few silver parts, and they're injected silver, which I know some people don't like the metallic injected parts, but they're really nice. The way that they look is that they almost look like they're plated. So even though they're not plated silver, they still look like it. So I think they look really, really good. And like I said, there's only a few of them, so you're only really going to see a little bit of the silver poking out here and there. Like, for example, behind the eyes right there, which does look really quite nice. Just really worried that these clear parts are going to get lost. So that's kind of my only worry about those eye parts, because you just have the little tiny clear yellow pieces there that just fit into the eyes. And just worried because I almost lost one of them already. Earlier when I was getting the kit ready for the live build here, I dropped one of the clear parts and I thought, well, that's gone. But fortunately it fell like right where it was very easy to see. But man, if it wouldn't have, it would have been a bad day. Clear part in here for the cameras that goes all the way through to the back of the head. And then for the camera right there, let me focus this up a little bit better for you guys maybe. Well, you can see that nice and up close. So it's kind of the head frame. There is a little bit more to the frame we're going to add on here, actually. This part like that, and that's kind of basically it. There's another frame-ish kind of part that we're going to add. It's on the top of the head. This one here also goes on the top, but we have to put that on once we put the other armor pieces onto there. But yeah, so that silver looks really nice, just little bits of it poking out, and even though it's the metallic injected silver, I mean, it might as well be plated. It would look literally identical. So I think it looks really good. Okay. MGSD Barbatos would be so, yeah, actually, that would be, I mean, Barbatos not one of my absolute favorite Gundams ever, but I think it would be a really cool one in this line, definitely. MGSD Barbatos. I mean, we can pretty much assume that there's going to be an RX-782, whether it be the next one or the next one. It's probably either going to be the second or the third release out in the line will be an RX-782. So I mean, I know some people get kind of tired of that, but I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be a nice one as well. Otherwise, yeah, I think the Barbatos would be a good candidate. Probably likely we'll see something like the Exia or the 00 Gundam would be a likely one. The Unicorn, I think that's probably a good bet that Bandai is going to want to flex their muscles a bit and make an MGSD Unicorn that can fully transform and everything. Bandai loves showing off any new way that they can make the Unicorn transformable. So we've got our V-fin here, and once you stack all those parts up, plug it onto the front, and then add these last couple little bits, and the head is done. Really nicely detailed. I mean, it is still an MG after all, but yeah. So you got the silver bits poking out here. Even at the V-fin, you got the name, trying to catch it in the light there, on the front of the red part, and the silver for the Vulcans, and then inside the chest, not the chest vents, inside those vents there in the side of the face, and then around here on the back. Very nice. Very cool looking. You can even see, like, if you catch it just right in the light, you can even see the silver through the vents and like the faceplate there as well. Pretty cool. All right. Yep. Next. The eyes are nuts. Yeah, the eyes look really good. MGSD Exia would be nice with the head detail on the green parts. Yeah, totally. I mean, I think. I mean, basically for a line like this, just look at any design that already has an RG, already has a PG, an MG, an HG, an SD. If it's already got all those other versions, then you know it's like one of the ones that is like the most popular designs. So that narrows it down quite a bit, into probably being something like the Exia, Unicorn, the RX-782, or the 00 Gundam, or the Astray. I think is another good possibility. The Astray red frame. Any of those I think would be quite likely. I would love to see a mono eye in this line too. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. A Zaku, or I mean, if not a Zaku, I don't know what it would be. A Sazabi. I mean, that would be really cool if it was a Sazabi. Other than that, something like I don't know what else would be a good option. For like a mono eye design. Obviously a Char Zaku would be cool, but aside from that, one thing to note about the design of this is I'll have to look at them side by side, but I mean, obviously this design seems much closer to the 2.0 Freedom than obviously much closer to that than to the 1.0, of course. But I have to look at them side by side to see just how similar the designs are. Like if it's very, very similar to the 2.0, or just kind of similar in overall like design aesthetic, with it being like detailed and like really sharp and edgy kind of design. hang on. You. Thanks, sir. What you get? All right. It's Friday. Right. Now it's a Friday. Does anyone mention how it would be nice to have a justice to stand and play with the freedom? I mean, yeah, that's another good question there over on Twitch. But yeah, the justice would be another good one just to like have to go with this. I think it's probably less likely, but it would be nice to go together with this one. MGSD Sinanju would work as well. I would really like that, yeah. Now it's tasting more like Friday. Okay, let's see. So then, got these blue parts here. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know, to see where they go with the line. I think overall, I wouldn't expect to see like any real curveballs. Like, I don't know, seeing something like completely out of left field, like, I don't know. And think of like what a good example would be. I don't know, like a goof. I don't know, it's like something like that. Oh, actually, Blaze there. You guys talking Aaron also in the chat mentioning the goof custom. I mean, yeah, something like that. I think like it's not obscure at all, but it's not like one of the ones like I'm talking about, like one of Bandai's like all-time bestsellers. So I think something like that is much less likely, but who knows, right? It could go that way. They'll just do something that we're not even thinking of being a possibility. Might be. Now that, let's see. I can already tell the articulations. Well, two things. I can tell that the articulation is going to be really nice of this section, and on the other hand, I can tell that it's very different from the 2.0. Like the way that the chest, like the torso of the Freedom 2.0 is designed, is quite unique for the articulation of that kit. And this one is also unique, but in a very different way. I mean, it's nothing like the articulation. It's nothing like the construction of the 2.0. So you can already tell at this point anyway, for this part of the build, it's not going to be similar. But still very nice. Okay. Howdy. Oh, hey, what's up, Francis? I was gonna say the Ra's al Ghul, but I remember your handle there. What's going on, buddy? You can never have enough GPO1 FB from the 0083 or another double Zeta kit. The Zeta Gundam could be another one. I guess like right on the heels of releasing the Zeta Verka. I'm not sure if they would come out with a with an MGSD Zeta, but who knows? Yeah, it could be like a little bit later on, like the third or fourth entry into the MGSD line. I think, yeah, sure, could definitely be possible. I think that would be a nice one. Interesting how this whole shoulder joint section. Zoom in again here, show you guys. So this is your arm connection, how it connects into the torso via a ball joint. That is not a good sign, in my opinion. We'll see how well that holds up, and considering it's like pretty deep in there and it's pretty solid, it should be fine, but a ball joint just makes me worried that it's going to have stability issues. But it seems like that part of it on the ball joint really doesn't move that much. It's kind of like really well in there, and it's really only for movement forward and back a little bit, not up and down. So hopefully that shouldn't be the cause of any kind of weight issues, because because most of the weight just seems like it's going to go here on this peg, which is pretty tight. And you can see it's even got a little tab on there for a locking mechanism. But the arm itself will lock on to that peg. All right. It's there. All right, Zeta's 40th anniversary is less than 2 years away. They might have an MGSD for that. I mean, that'd be a good enough reason, I think, for them to do it. So yeah, like, if we can assume that they're gonna do like one of these per year, maybe they'll do something different next year, and then for the third release, 2 years from now, for Zeta's 40th anniversary, maybe at that time they'll have an MGSD freedom. I think that's probably something that would be more likely than a 3.0 of the MG. Like I said, especially like still fairly close to the release of the Verka. Probably not going to come out with another version of the Master Grade in that way, even though an MGSD would still be MG. You know, it's obviously something a little different. So yeah, we'll see. Other than MGSD speculation, what else is on your guys' minds today? It's Friday. It's date night, as my 7th grade social studies teacher used to say, which was kind of weird to say to 7th grade students. But 7th grade social studies teacher would always tell us Friday is date night and ask us if we had plans, ask us what our plans were for Friday night. Do you recommend using gouache as a paint medium? I use it for my art. It's a cross between acrylic and watercolor. I can't imagine that it would be very good on plastic models, just because I think that it's adhesion to the plastic, or even if you use a primer, any kind of surfacer, I don't think that it would work well. Anything like that. I've never heard of it being used. As far as I know, somebody in the chat may know otherwise, whether it is like for sure good or bad, but I don't think that it would be a good idea. Watched your goof video with the weathering and winter camo. About fell out of my chair when you dropped the fact that 2005 was 18 years ago. Yeah. You mean my Gelgoog video? But yes, 2005, yeah, 18 years ago. I know, crazy. Hope we get an MG X Mao and MG Gym Sniper K9. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the build fighters MGs. They just really seem to kind of gave up on that. What did they make? They just made the build version of the Mark II, and they made the build strike, and that was it, right? I guess the sales of those weren't very good. But it is kind of surprising that they didn't make any more build fighters MGs. Oh, there was the amazing Red Warrior. It was actually a really nice kit. I actually like that kit quite a lot. I want to get another one of those, actually, at some point. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I actually got rid of my MG Amazing Red Warrior kit. I think I sold that. And would kind of like to get another one because it's a really cool kit. I still have the HG, the black one, in my stash at home. That MG was pretty cool. Well, it's Saturday morning down here in Australia. My thoughts are bed after working all night. Well, I understand that. Action redeemed hydrate. What? Action what? Redeemed hydrate for 10,000 points. Yes. Exactly. Build Fighter's got a decent amount of MGs. Oh yeah, there was XEA Dark Matter, Wing Features, and oh yeah. I don't know why I'm just like forgetting about half of them. Yeah, I guess that's true. There were quite a few. Yeah, the XEA Dark Matter was also a pretty nice one. The Wing Fenice was really nice. The Fenice Rinashita Alba was especially nice. The Key Bandai variant. I preferred. The Sengoku Astra I never built, but it looked pretty cool. Yeah, but for how many HGs came out of Build Fighters, I'm surprised that there weren't more MGs. H2 Magnum. Oh yeah, there's that as well. That's Build Divers though, right? Hope I'm well. Yeah, I'm doing well. Staying busy. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this week, but this week I've been going pretty hard on the uploads, doing like almost 2 a day. All this week, just because early in the week, if you guys saw, I got a delivery, and man, it's just been kind of hitting on me that I really need to not be behind. I mean, at the moment, I'm fairly behind. I need to try to get caught up a little bit on reviews of stuff. I've just got a bunch of stuff over here that I need to get built and reviewed for you guys. And so it's not so bad at the moment, but in order to avoid it getting like real bad, I just thought like, man, I just need to really knock out some of these kits. So I've been working really hard this week to just get a bunch of stuff out, and it's probably going to be like that for the next couple of weeks, just like really jamming. Just try to get a little bit caught up on some of this stuff, but still working on some different custom build type of stuff as well. So it won't be just reviews. I will be trying to work on some stuff. My spray booth is finally almost ready. I thought it was going to be finished last night. I went home. I've been working on it at home on like my newest and hopefully my final version of the spray booth before I can finally get back to airbrushing. But it should be good. I thought it was going to be finished last night, but what I had to do on it last night didn't really work out. So it should definitely be done this weekend. And I don't know, maybe next week I can do some airbrushing with the new spray booth. It won't be up here, so that's part of the complication that I've had with why I haven't been able to airbrush basically for the entire time that I've been back in the US, is just that in this space here, there's no windows or anywhere to vent the exhaust of a spray booth. So that was my first issue. The second issue was, even if there was, I've been having trouble finding a ventilation fan that works well enough to even move like a good amount of air. So it's been kind of a multi-pronged issue of trying to do some airbrushing, and I finally got a fan that's going to work decent enough, and so then I'm just working on getting the spray booth itself, the rest of the spray booth, like aside from the fan, the rest of like the whole booth, getting that built. And I've been just building something myself so that it's like sort of nice. And then the other issue is just the location. I mean, even if it's like the best fan in the world, I can't do it up here in this room because it's a small room with no ventilation, nowhere for the air to go. So I have to do it like kind of downstairs next to, right by the loading dock, essentially. So it's not comfortable or convenient at all, but it'll work for the time being. And then hopefully within a few months' time, we'll be in our new warehouse and it'll be a better situation there. But yeah, spray booth should hopefully finally be all good to go, and that'll definitely be helpful for working on some different projects that I've been trying to work on, a number of different things. And like the project queue has just been ever growing, so I definitely need to start making some progress on that as well. So there's a lot of things I'm trying to work on. I know for a lot of people, most of you guys, I would assume, you like the reviews and everything, but I know a lot of you guys do also like to see work in progress videos and stuff like that. But like without being able to airbrush, I mean, there's only so many times I can keep doing Machining Krieger style hand painted builds again and again before it's probably getting a little bit old. I want to get back to doing some other different kind of just regular, like normal Gundam style airbrushed stuff. So I've got a few different things all ready to go. So like as soon as the airbrush is working, I've got kits that are like ready to be painted straight away. So Hopefully that'll be all good to go. And then, you know, I can just get right to painting. All right, let's see. This has a particular way to go on here. And then, nah, I don't like this. There's a couple of different styles for like MG kits of how the shoulder armor attaches onto. This kind, where the shoulder armor just fits over the peg, and then the arm fits over the top of that, I don't like. because if let me just get this off of here real quick. If this arm ever starts to slide, if it's pressed on there super tight, it's fine. But if it ever starts to come off the peg even a little bit, then that makes the shoulder armor loose, and you kind of have to mess around with it, and it's just kind of a pain in the ass. I much prefer the type of shoulder armor that is either attached onto the top of the arm or is like clipped onto this peg, like just like a C-clip onto the top of the peg. But this one, because it has that locking peg on there, on the peg, it has that little like part right there that the arm actually locks onto. So you saw I just had to actually put it on upside down and then turn it into place so that it's locked onto there. That should hopefully keep the arm on there nice and tight so that the shoulder armor is not going to come loose. Hopefully. So there's one arm. Pretty simple. I mean, it isn't, well, it's both. It's an MG and an SD, right? So like the fact that it's an MG, I mean, there is like all your inner frame and everything in there. But the fact that it's an SD, you know, it does stay true to being a very simple construction as an SD would be. So it really does a good job, and just in terms of like the engineering of the kit, I think it's, from my impression of it so far, is that it's really doing a good job of, you know, kind of encompassing everything that should be encompassed of an MG and an SD kind of together, where it's got the full inner frame and all the details that you would expect, and pretty good color separation, very good color separation for an MG kit, everything that you would like about an MG. But then, you know, the relative simplicity and obviously the proportions of an SD. So it is nice. And a long time coming, really, to be honest. I mean, this is something that Bandai should have been, I mean, they should have been doing this years ago. It was kind of just like money left on the table kind of situation. Like they could have been making bank on kits like this for a long time. We had that, if you guys remember, there was that Sun Toys, which was like a bootleg RX-78-2 kit that came out, I don't know, like 6 years ago, something like that, 7 years ago, quite a while ago, which was like an MGSD kit that was made by a bootleg company, Sun Toys. I mean, that was cool. It had the issues, it had like the normal issues of being a bootleg. The quality wasn't Bandai quality, but I mean, that kit kind of showed that, like, here's a pretty interesting concept that, you know, I think a lot of people would enjoy and will enjoy into the future with kits like this. So I think Bandai is kind of late to get on this, but it's nice that, you know, they're on it now anyway. So here's something pretty cool. If you take a look here at the shoulder armor, there's a gear in here in the shoulder armor, so when you move the vent down, the red part on the top pops up. You see that? That's pretty awesome. That's cool. I like that. That's really nice. That's the kind of thing that's nice to see on kits like this, like something unique like that. It brings a smile to my face. That's what you want to see. Not just kind of like, oh yeah, all right, same old kind of thing, no big deal. But something, and it's not even like that's the first time I've ever seen that on a kit before, ever. But it's just a cool kind of little design feature that I can appreciate. Doesn't really do anything for the kit substantially. Overall, it's just nice, interesting. All right. But yeah, I gotta say, yeah, the color separation and everything on this. I was talking about Bandai flexing their muscles earlier. Like if they were to make a unicorn kit in this line, I mean, even just with this is a pretty good flex on its own. I would say just with how nice this kit is. Oops. And see what happens when I don't follow the instructions. I put that together wrong. Part separator. Okay. Still waiting on my order to be fulfilled via HLJ, David. Yeah, I mean, I would assume that HLJ is, they suffer from the same issues that we do here at USA Gundam Store, and just the fact that this is something that Adam and I have talked about like ad nauseum over on the USA Gundam TV channel when we do our live streams. We're talking about kits being released and how the process works for ordering kits from Bandai and stuff like that. But just to give you a real quick breakdown of kind of how that works, is we'll order, say just for example, we'll order 500 of a new kit. Bandai will approve that and say, okay, yeah, you can get 500 of this kit. And so then we'll put up for pre-order on the site, and we'll set a limit on it to take 480 or 470, something like that, so that there's a little bit of buffer in between, just in case something happens or whatever, and then we can have some actually in stock when they arrive. But so say we've got 475 pre-orders for a kit, and then when it comes time, when the kit is released and Bandai's got the kit and they send us the kit, they'll send us, of the 500 we're supposed to get, they'll send 200 out at once, and then a month later they'll send the other 300. And what happens is that, yeah, we're not able to fulfill all those pre-orders at the same time. And I'm sure that HLJ probably goes through the same thing with Bandai, unfortunately. It's, not the most convenient, especially from the perspective of a store, an online store that's trying to, do business with the kits and taking pre-orders and whatever. It makes it difficult because, yeah, then you get in part of your order, you're able to fulfill some of the pre-orders, but not all at once. And then you have some people are annoyed, understandably. They'll see other people who have ordered from the same store getting their kits already, and they're wondering, hey, where's mine? That's the reason for it. So, yeah, it's a difficult situation, gonna be a frustrating situation, but for the time being, that's just kind of how it goes. At least on our end, speaking for us here, and then like I said, I'm assuming it's the same at stores like HLJ. They do their best to try to get everything out to customers as soon as possible. It's just a matter of getting what's on order from Bandai as soon as possible. Hey, what's going on, Hasaki? How's it going there? Let's see. Have you tried the effect set for the RG Wing Gundam Zero EW? No, I've not. Hobbyton USA has the same problem. It's just the way Bandai works. Yep. Yeah, I mean, any retailer that deals directly with Bandai is probably dealing with the same thing. And then any retailer that's dealing with a secondary distributor, I mean, it's going to be even worse, probably. So. It would be easier for consumers to swallow if they'd tell the stores sooner what the supply allocations will be. Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah. If they told us hey, all right, if Bandai said, okay, you can get your order of 500, but 200 of those are going to come this month. The other 300 are going to come this month. Then we can separate the pre-orders too. I mean, we could put it up for, you know, April pre-order this many, and then May pre-order this many, something like that. Yeah, we could do that like on our end if we had that information from Bandai, but you know, without having that information ahead of time, it's can't really know. So, yep, that's just how it is for right now. But Bandai, it does have their new, as I understand, I think they have a new, what is it? Factory that is supposed to be done either by the end of this year or beginning of next year, something like that. Even though they just a couple of years ago made a second factory, now they've got their third factory that they're going to have. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. I've not heard too much more about that recently. Yeah, assuming that that's still happening, that should hopefully help out with a lot of things. So we'll see. Yep. All right. So. Oh wait. Okay. Looking at that part, thinking like how that part fits onto there, but I had the knee and the foot parts mixed up. There we go. That's the part for the front of the foot, and this part, oh, I like that. This part here for the foot being like for in between the toe and the back of the foot being just a single piece. It's very nice. Again, it's nice to see how they've kind of kept with the SD aesthetic and kept the construction very simple while still fitting into, you know, like I said, the MG aesthetic of having the full inner frame and everything else. It's very nice. I would say quite impressed so far. And even though the Freedom Gundam's not one of my favorite Gundam designs, I mean, I'm definitely enjoying the build just for the uniqueness of it. It's something different. It's always nice. All right, this one goes into there, and then turn it, what, 90 degrees? How much? Yeah, 90 degrees. Okay. Alrighty. All right, what do you think of the HG G-Witch line? Sorry, guys, I'm sure I'm probably missing a lot in the chat. But yeah, again, just a reminder, if you guys have questions, you know, that for me that you want me to address, you know, directly in the chat or anything, feel free to use all caps. As long as you're not spamming the caps lock in the chat, it's fine if you guys want to use all caps just to make sure that you get my attention whenever I'm glancing up at the chat. But my thoughts on the HG G-Witch line so far, it's really nice. Yeah, definitely better than previous lines. I want to compare it to the Reconquista and G. If you guys remember, the HG Reconquista and G kits were very unique, just the designs of them, but the kits were not great. And I feel like this is a like the G-Witch line has been like, what, how do I want to say this? They're similar in the fact that the designs are really unique, but what unfortunately happened with the Reconquista and G kits is that the kits were just pretty bad overall. It was the quality of the kits, the design, like the engineering of them just was not overall very good. And like, had those kits been better, this is what they would have been like. So I mean, it's kind of sad if you're a fan of the designs of Reconquista and G. I mean, like, just knowing like, man, we could have had such high quality kits like this in Reconquista and G, you know, where we have these really unique designs, but they're really super cool and interesting kits, like what we have with Witch from Mercury. So yeah, I mean, the Witch from Mercury kits are great. I wish we could have had, you know, kits of that quality at the time when Wrecking Beast NG was coming out. So if that makes sense to you guys. Alright. Here's another one of our silver parts here, in for the knee. So we'll, like, around the vents, around the knee section, you'll have some more of that silver poking out. And as I was saying earlier, for anybody who missed the beginning of the live stream, the plated silver parts on this kit, is that right? Yeah, the plated silver parts for this kit are really quite nice. Sorry, not plated. Jeez. They are not plated. They're just metallic injected parts. But, and I know that, you know, a lot of people will not like that. They just hear like metallic injected, and some people just kind of cringe at the thought. But they're really nice. They look. Oh no! Forgot something. Just kind of struggled getting these parts together, and then realized I forgot something in between. But yeah. How does this even go in there? Like that? Okay. Yeah, even though the parts are metallic injected, they're really nice. Okay. Alright. How these parts on the leg go together is really weird. Not in a bad way. It's certainly very unique. That's why, like, the construction of the legs, like, really throwing me for a loop. I mean, in order to have, like, the MG and SD, like, in order to have kind of, as I've been talking about, like, having both aesthetics represented, in order to do that, they just really went back to the drawing board with, like, how the entire leg construction goes together. It's completely original, the way that the leg goes together. I mean, the arm's, you know, unique, but, you know, not near as much as what we've got here with the legs. Pretty crazy. Oh, yeah. Very interesting. Okay. There's our leg. Oh, we don't have a waist yet. I was going to put this on the kit. Like, there's nothing really to plug that into if we don't have our waist built yet. But let's just go ahead and build the other leg first. And then we'll get the waist put together. I'm just following the manual, so. Normally, I would like to have the waist built first so that once the legs are done, I can actually plug them on. But we'll get to that momentarily. SDCS is an awesome SD representation, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. The SDCS, it's nice to see that line is not completely dead. We have the Tornado Gundam, is that right? I think it's the name of it, right? That, like, just released. So I'm actually looking forward to building that one. Just because it's a pretty unique design. That's the other thing that's been nice about the SDCS line. They've come out with some pretty unique Gundam designs. And they're like, we have the Cascade, and what else was in it? The Phoenix. Some, like, really, really obscure mobile suit designs to come out in the SDCS line. It's quite interesting, really. Just 45 minutes ago, I got my P Bandai RG HD HWS expansion set for the new. Nice. I've got the Hyper Mega Bazooka launcher for the RG Hainu that I need to put together and review for you guys. And the Banshee, yeah. I mean, the Banshee not near as unique, but still a welcome addition to that line. Definitely Tornado Gundam. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be in a upcoming review. It's not here yet. I don't have it yet, but I've got it on the way soon. All right. I hope they make an MGSD Barbatos Rex, but give it PG hints. I don't know. Wasn't there an MG? Oh, what? Oh, MGSD. Okay, I thought I was still thinking SD cross silhouette. I'm thinking like, wasn't there an SD cross silhouette Barbatos Rex? There definitely was, because I remember making a video on that about like how to make like the effect parts for it. But yeah, an MGSD Barbatos Rex would be very cool. Yes, I agree. That'd be nice. I think that would. I mean, I would be more excited about that than just a regular MGSD Barbatos. We were talking about that earlier. Somebody mentioned about wanting an MGSD Barbatos. I think that would be a good bet. But yeah, if it was me, I would prefer the Rex, really, to be honest. I think just because of the weird proportions of that Gundam, it looks really nice in SD form. So yeah, I could definitely get down with that. Banshee CS is coming out soon, so it's not Gina to G generation only. Yeah, and it comes with both frames. Yeah, I saw that. That'll be nice. It's definitely much better. Those SD cross silhouette kits, the ones that actually include both frames, is so much better than the ones where you have to buy the frame separately. I mean, I get Bandai's reasoning for that, but it's definitely better when they include both, right? Alright, we got this guy here. This is what I kind of had trouble with. It kind of took me a minute on the first leg. You have this part of the frame that plugs into the armor on the back of the thigh. Fortunately, that time it went very smoothly. First time around, it took me a second. I think from there on, it's pretty easy here. I should be able to get through the rest of this without using the instructions. Hopefully I won't miss anything. Like, I almost forgot to put this piece in here again. There we go. Then we have this part. The only thing different about the legs, it has you build it twice, and to build the left and the right side separately, the only thing that's different is that the connection part at the top, you just flip it to one side for the left side and flip it to the other side for the right side. That's the only difference there. So after building the one leg, putting this other one together is pretty straightforward. Right up here, and there we go. Okay, so there's our legs done. Now let's build the waist so that we can actually put it all together. The waist is pretty substantial just because of the rail cannons. We got quite a lot of parts here, and including our parts here for beam sabers. I want to just make sure I put those together straight away before I lose those parts, because the tips of beam sabers are really small little parts there. I think the next MGSD is going to be God Gundam. You think so? I mean, that's a pretty good guess as well. I was saying earlier that a good way to kind of make a prediction would be just any other Gundam design that also has a RG, PG, MG, SD, HG. And while the God Gundam doesn't have a PG, it does have a high res and an RG. I mean, so it's got pretty good representation in like every other line except for PG. So I mean, God Gundam, yeah, it could be good. I don't know if it would. I don't know how much I would really particularly like that as an MGSD, personally, but I mean, I love the God Gundam, so. And still no waist unit. MGSD better be Tequila Gundam, or it's a fail. Yeah, Tequila Gundam, I have to imagine also be pretty unlikely, but hey, you never know. You never know. With Bandai, I mean, sometimes they just throw you a curveball. So who knows? Alright. pretty interesting here. The construction of our waist frame. If they do an MGSD unicorn, prepare for P-Bandai variants for the Banshee Phoenix. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's one reason why they would do it, I think, is just so that they could make premium Bandai variations that they could sell and exclusives and everything like that. How do you feel about the new LED kit for RG Gundam? I've not seen about that. Is it like a third-party thing? I'm not seeing anything about it, but a real curveball would be a G-Savior MGSD. Yeah, I don't know if Bandai is ever going to show any more love to the G-Savior in any way at all, ever. But, I mean, who knows? That's another one that, like, it would be completely out of left field, but, I mean, I don't think that... I mean, like, there's certain series that don't get a whole lot of love, like Gundam X or Turn A, for example. I mean, like, really rarely, once in a while, they'll get a new kit out, but... I mean, G-Savior is one of those that I think that's just never getting anything ever again, probably. So we'll see. All right, so that's clipped onto there, and then pop it on like that, and then slot it in like so. Okay. And this side. These are the same, right? F9? Yeah, okay. Alright, so there's that. And this one. Back skirt. There we go, nice back skirt piece. And our front skirts. Let's see. These also have some nice color separation on these. How do these fit onto there? Oops. Alright, except for the movie, everything else about G-Savior is fine. At least make a P-Bandai. I mean, yeah, if we were ever going to get anything G-Savior related, I guess I could see that, possibly. I could see them making like a... it would be RE100, right? Because it's Universal Century. It'd be RE100 G-Savior kit, just as a P-Bandai. I could see that. Either way, it would still be pretty insane, but I could see Bandai doing something weird like that. I'm just wondering if the RE100 line is in fact really dead or not, because I think the last thing that we had out at all in the RE100 line was just the Shokyu. Is that right? Which was a P-Bandai kit. So I mean, do you think we're not ever going to have anything out in the RE100 line out, like, ever again? Or, like, maybe we'll see a couple other, like, P-Bandai releases? Or not even P-Bandai, just nothing ever again. Full Mechanics kind of took over. I mean, as far as I know, Full Mechanics and RE100 are, like, the same line. It's just for stuff that's Universal Century and stuff that's not Universal Century. So I mean, if you're saying that, like, Full Mechanics is taking over, that just means that they're just not going to do anything Universal Century anymore in that 1/100 scale non-MG line. And I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that they would just not want to do anything 1/100 scale anymore of, like, Universal Century. But I don't know. I think, well, let's see. recent. Oh, recent 100 skill that Naoki did. Bandai selling the Zaku High Abilities surface again. Did you get one? Oh yes, Duo Maxwell. Yeah, I got that Zaku. Yes, thank you for asking. The High Ability surface type Zaku kit. Yep, I did get one of those. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I want a 144 skill Shokyu. Don't think it's dead. Just like the SDCS. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming, is that the RE100 line is not dead. It's just kind of, and it just hasn't released anything out on the line because they've been doing the full mechanics releases. So like I'm saying, I think that the lines are, from my perspective, it's the same line. It's just they use a different name depending on what series the kit is from. So they've been doing the Calamity, the Raider, and the Forbidden, which are all non-UC, so they're all full mechanics. But then after that, they switch back to RE for doing something from Universal Century, I think is probably likely. But on that note, a little preview for this weekend's MOOC review is this. And in here, it's all 00 stuff, mostly. And in here, there's builds of the Throne kits. And after looking at this, I realized that actually, like, making full mechanics versions of the Throne mobile suits from 00 would actually make a lot of sense. So I don't know if that's what we can expect to see like next in the full mechanics line, but I think it would make a lot of sense for a future release for them to make the Throne very similar to like we have the Raider, Calamity, and Forbidden Gundams. If they were to make the Throne Gundams, I think be pretty good candidates for them to do in the full mechanics line. So wouldn't be surprised at all if we see those in the future. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I think they would be really nice because they're cool designs. But you know, the HGs are not great, kind of dated, and you know the HG 00 line in general is all kind of hit and miss. The majority of the line, like in my opinion, from the limited ones I've built, I've not built a ton of kits from the line, but as far as I can tell, the line in general is kind of hit and miss. Like, not a lot of really great kits out in the line, but there's some good ones and there's some kind of meh ones. I've always kind of found the Throne Gundams to be a little bit kind of meh in the HG line. Really cool designs, but just kind of not that great in kit form. So we'll see. I think those would be really, really good candidates for full mechanics kits. They drop Thrones way. I'll literally toss my wallet. Yeah, I mean, I agree. They would be popular, I think, to say the least. So don't think them gonna stay in the seed area, full mechanics area. I mean, yeah, like after the Calamity, they're definitely not going to do anything seed for at least the next couple of releases. So I mean, after Forbidden, I should say, after the Forbidden comes out, which is in like October or something, September, August. Anyway, after the Forbidden, it'll be something non-seed. So they could go to something UC and go back to the RE100, or if they're going to stay in full mechanics, I mean, something from 00 would make a lot of sense, I think. Always interested in MGSD, but not sure if it's worth it. Terrence, to answer your question as to whether it's worth it or not, I mean, my experience building this so far, I'm really enjoying it. I can definitely recommend the kit, at least at this point. I mean, I don't see, now that I'm like kind of almost done with it at this point, I don't foresee reaching a point here in this build at this point that would make me like not recommend it to you guys. It's just that it's a particular aesthetic that I can understand, like, may not appeal to everyone, but so long as you like the whole, like, the design of it, then, I mean, it's a really, really, I mean, just as far as the model kit goes, like, objectively, it's really nice. So I'll have nothing but good things to say. Let's see. All right. Are you gonna review it? Oh, okay. What, the full mechanics aerial? Oh, Hasaki, I don't think that I'm gonna review the full mechanics aerial. I talked about this on the live stream the other day. Yeah, I don't think that I'm gonna review it just because, as I was talking about earlier, I just have a lot of other things kind of in the queue at the moment that I would like to review. And with that, I mean, honestly, I would just, for me personally, I would just prefer to wait for an MG because I know it's eventually going to get an MG. And I don't know, just don't really have much inclination to build the full mechanics kit, to be honest. And I'm sure it's going to be a good kit, and plenty of other reviewers will review it. For those of you guys who want to see a review of it, you don't particularly need, I think, my personal opinion on it. I think, where does this go? Interesting. Oh, very interesting. Take a look at this, guys. So for the side skirt, for the railguns, for the beam saber in there, there's a mechanic here for locking the beam saber handle into place. So see this little black part here on the side? This moves in and out, and this is what locks the beam saber in. So when you turn this in, you have this little tab on the beam saber, which you'll use for plugging that into the hand so that you got a good connection to the hand. But it also helps for storage, so you kind of lock that into, it connects onto the black piece. When you press it in and kind of close this up, the black piece clips onto that and kind of holds it in place there, so this isn't going to come out. That's really cool. I have to say, like, it's stuff like that that's making me really enjoy this kit, just because that's pretty unique. That's something that I think, I mean, you can just, it's stuff like that that you can tell, like, a good amount of effort was put into designing this kit, to really kind of make it really nice. And they could have just kind of went a bit lazy with it and just made a Freedom Gundam or whatever Gundam in just kind of SD proportions, while it still had like a bit of a master grade frame, but like overall nothing really too much more interesting than that. But there's some really cool design features with this, so I'm convinced. And then the locking pegs are nice. I mean, they can be a bit of a pain sometimes because you have to be careful when you're putting stuff together or taking it apart, that you have to make sure you're putting it onto like right at the right angle to get it locked in there. But it's nice that then it's just locked on. You don't have to worry about the part like falling off or anything. So it makes it just for a really solid construction. And as for just the body itself, I mean, 10 out of 10 at this point. I mean, if not 11 or 12 out of 10. Very, very nice. But then we've got the wings, the backpack, which is going to be quite an adventure. Probably going to spend just as much time putting this backpack together as we did for like half of the Gundam's body. Got quite a lot of parts here. All right, is it as tall as an HG? Yes, question mark. I'd have to put it next to an HG to be sure. But at this point, I mean, just at a glance, I would say, yeah, it's about the height of an HG, yes. As far as I can tell. Let's see, I like SD Gundams because I have a huge head too. That's funny. I wasn't going to buy this, but if I see it in stores, I might have to. Yeah, I like that T-shirt. What is it? Chris, this is from it's a curry restaurant. It says Mountain Love. You guys can't read, kind of, and then at the top there, curry restaurant. In Nagasaki, in Nagasaki, Japan. It was like friends of my friend. When I lived in Nagoya, I had a friend, and her friends have this curry restaurant in Nagasaki. And way back when I was living in Japan, before I left Japan, I did a bit of a cycling tour. So I rode my bicycle from Nagoya to Nagasaki, which was about 1,000 kilometers. It was like a 2-week-long cycling trip that I did just by myself on my single gear. It's not a fixed gear, but just a single gear. It's a freewheel single gear bicycle. Went on a bike trip and rode to Nagasaki for 2 weeks. And in Nagasaki, yeah, my friend in Nagoya, her friend have a curry restaurant there, and went to their curry restaurant there, and they gave me this T-shirt. So anyway, that's how I got the T-shirt. Very kind of long story to get to there, but yeah. Yep, that's where it's from anyway. And I don't think that they still have the curry restaurant. I don't think that they still have it. I think they've closed it, unfortunately. But I don't know. I've not been back to Nagasaki since then, so I'm not sure. All right. Will the new warehouse have a giant Gundam out front? Unfortunately, probably not, but that would be cool. Do you like the Freedom backpack? It's okay. Not really a big fan of like the giant mecha wings typically, but I mean, it's all right. I thought it looked familiar. I saw the eye. Couldn't pinpoint it. I mean, yeah, it's got the whole pyramid and eye thing going on, and I feel like wearing it like around here, just like in America in general, but especially in Florida, probably a lot of people are kind of looking at me weird wearing a shirt like this and thinking that it's like something, something more than just like a T-shirt for a curry restaurant. So like I've had a couple of people ask me before, which I find it weird. Like I would never do this, like just in public. I see as usual, the camera's frozen there, the lower camera. So let me take care of that here real quick for us. But yes, let me just switch this up here real quick. Bear with me a moment. Here we go. I would never just go up to somebody and ask them like, hey, what's that mean on your T-shirt? But like it's happened to me before, not only with this T-shirt. I've had it like, I have a PewDiePie hoodie that I have. You guys maybe seen it before. With like the, on the back of the hoodie, it's like got the skeleton doing the dab, and it's saying like, what does it say? Just say no, like to dabbing, whatever. And I've had people like 3 or 4 times people come up to me when I'm just in a store and be like, what's dabbing? So some old person, right? Come up to me, what's that mean on your shirt? I'm like, excuse me? Just leave me alone, please. I would never do that to somebody, but I don't know, people do that here. And I've had that with this T-shirt as well. I've had people ask me what it means. Like, yeah, it's just a curry restaurant. That's all. Yeah. It's not Florida man camouflage. Yeah, no, it's not very conspicuous. Alright, so I'm gonna need to do this and this. Get our camera working. I don't know why the camera does that. It's like usually after an hour or so. For some reason, OBS just likes to kind of freeze up a little bit there. Open. Ooh, you guys completely lost me there for a second, but all right. Your sensor's overheating? I guess so. I mean, I don't know. Because on the camera, it'll still be fine. It's just in OBS. so I don't think it's like anything overheating on the camera. So yeah, when it does that, usually there you go. Usually the when I like the screen on the camera is still showing it live. It's not frozen there. Anyway. All right. I assume that any Gundam statue on a property would need Bandai approval. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, because it's on the property of a business that's selling Gunpla, it probably, if Bandai knew about it, they probably would not like it. If you just built it like a Gundam, like in your backyard at home, I mean, Bandai couldn't do anything about that. What do I think about panel liner in the eyes? Damien asking about. On this kit, if you wanted to panel line in like on the silver part in behind the clear yellow parts, I mean, yeah, why not? You could. I don't think it would add that much to it. I think it would be barely noticeable. But yeah, if you wanted to try, you could certainly do that. All right. Let's back to the backpack. Okay. They asked me if that EFSF logo was part of a religion. Nice. Let's see. Do you want me to work with you to get things working in OBS without using StreamYard? Max Res 720 is hurting you. Yeah, Chris, I mean, if you have any words of advice on that, I would definitely take it, because, yeah, I mean, that would be great. I need to, like, try to improve my whole, like, live streaming setup. It's just one of those things that, you know, there's only so many hours in the day, and I have to kind of prioritize. It would be nice to have better settings and everything for my streaming, but... It's 180 degrees. Feels a bit overkill. All right. Yeah, later on, Chris. Oh, actually, shit. I'm supposed to do that today. Next week is the promo weekender event as well, and I'm supposed to do my streaming test for that as well. Actually, now that you mention it, today I need to do that. It's just YouTube. You're streaming. Oh no, Chris, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch. But I mean, like, if I had to not stream on Twitch, like, it would be okay. It would be nice to stream on both, but I mean, if I can get much better streaming quality, not stream on Twitch, I mean, that's kind of fine. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right, Chris. Yeah, later on. Will do. Appreciate it. It's one of those things. It's kind of been on the to-do list, but yeah, you know. You're a new dad, you know how it goes. Time and everything. Now, Okay. There's those. This is still ×2. So we got, let's see. Nope. Where's the piece that I'm looking for? I was thinking, and I wish I wouldn't have forgot this, but before starting the stream, I was thinking like I should build the wings. I should build the backpack first because I know it's going to be like the part that I need to focus the most on. And just if I wait towards the end of the stream, I'm going to be more tired. So I should build the backpack first so that it's done before we get on to the rest of the build. And now I'm regretting the fact that I forgot to do that because this is the part that takes the most focus. And now I'm tired after going through the rest of the build, and because I can't find the piece that I'm looking for. Here it is. I never knew how precious time to yourself can be. Yeah. Yep, it's one of those things. Oh, and that's not the right piece. Is it? Nope. Yep. I got lucky the first time around. I thought that those pieces were all the same, but actually they are not. And to make sure that those are also the right ones. Let's see. Is this right? Yep, that's right. There's a certain way that these, like the black pieces and the blue pieces, fit together. Oh no, that's not right. Damn it. There's a certain way they fit together, and certain ones go together and certain ones don't. All right, is working with at USA Gundam Store your full-time job? No, alphabetical set. I mean, yeah, I mean, essentially, I had already been working for USA Gundam Store full-time. I mean, even when I was in Korea, I just wasn't physically here. So, I mean, not really that much has necessarily changed about that kind of working relationship. It's just the fact that I'm now like actually here. So yeah, I do a little bit more stuff like the live streams that I do, like actually with Adam here now for the channel, and like some videos that I've made for the USA Gundam TV like YouTube channel. Some videos that I've made on there is like stuff that like obviously I couldn't have made if I was still in Korea, like stuff that I've made. And then like doing the TikTok videos, because follow USA Gundam on TikTok, like those TikTok videos I make every day here. So, like I do more stuff for like the company's social media here, but like as far as like what I do like for my videos for my channel, it's really not that much difference, I think, that you guys would see on a day-to-day basis. MGSD, I love the slightly larger but still chibi proportions. Yeah, it's definitely, that's the other thing. I mean, it's a good point too, that the proportions aren't totally SD like at all. And it's more closer to like the HGSD kits that you see like people do customs of online, and I've done one and then kind of 1.5 of those before. Let's see. It's kind of like you have to build all these different sections separately, and then I guess at the end we're gonna put it all together. But Yeah, it's more like the proportions of this is not totally SD proportions. It's more like the SDHG kind of proportions that you would see people do. Like the head is not as big as a SD head would be compared to the body, and the legs aren't as short as it would be for an SD's legs. All right, so once we have all these kind of subsections put together, then we put the left and the right side together separately. So for the right side here, we got this, and we're gonna put together this one. Okay, so yeah, you have to kind of pay attention to which one is right for that. Like that. This one on here. I say it's more converge or next edge down. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a really good comparison. It is very similar to the next edge down figures, more so than like SD. I also actually need to leave this down. Pop this onto here, and then click and lock that up into place. Take one of our cannons, put this onto here, and then shoot all the way back around so that's locked into place. And then I'll take one of these guys. This where? Uh-oh. Oh no. I did something wrong. Alright, sorry. Let's see, take that off. Take this off, take this off. Knew this would happen. This is why I needed to build the backpack first before I built the other parts, so that I would hopefully not make mistakes like this, but alright, gotta make sure I'm paying close attention with these black parts here. Ones have like male and female versions of them. So, okay, so we've had this onto here. And that. Try this again. Ooh. Okay, there we go. I wonder what let's see. MS Ensemble is pretty close. Yeah, that's all kind of similar. Painted my first 100 scale pilot figure the other day. Not as hard as people say. I mean, yeah, the nice thing about those 100 scale and 144 scale figures is that they're so small. I mean, you can paint it, you know, kind of. You don't have to be super good at painting those small scale figures because it's so small that, I mean, like, you're not really going to be able to see much of anything, which is like kind of to your advantage. So even if you're not that good at hand painting small scale figures, it's so small that it's not gonna look bad, if that makes sense. Okay, for this side now, okay, let's make sure I'm doing everything the right way. So this one's like that, and this time we're using that side, putting this on here. And close that up. And then not Nope, that one. See? Yeah, almost got me. Almost did it wrong. That on there. Turn that. Then turn that all the way around, and there we go. There's one of the wings. Okay, so we can then put that onto here. Ooh. And put this piece on the bottom of that. No, that's upside down. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yep, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's the nice thing with paying those 1/100 scale in very, very small figures. Okay. Left side. So now you got this one. Won't make any mistakes this time. This one. And this black piece. That on, pop that into place. Okay, cannon. No more mistakes, famous last words. Yeah, we'll see. But I'm doing all right now. I built one, so I kind of know what to look out for on the second wing. Should be all right. But yeah, we'll see. That onto there, and then pull that down. Okay. We're getting there. Got that. The other side here. Almost got it. This one. Lock that in. Okay. And then this one here. And this one here. A quick interjection as I'm finishing that up. And now our wings are done. Thank God. I honestly love the concept of MGSD, but I don't know the proportions of this one isn't really selling it for me. But yeah, I thought so too. I mean, I don't know if it's the proportions are just not quite right, or if it's just this particular Gundam. It's just not one of my favorite Gundams. One of the two. Yeah, I kind of had the same feeling of this. I wasn't really super sold on it. But I can say, like, after building it, I mean, I'm definitely feeling better about this. And I think it's really, really nice. That said, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to maybe wait and see what the next one's going to be like. Maybe you'll appreciate the proportions better on whatever the next design is going to be, or it's just a Gundam that you like more than the Freedom Gundam. But just as far as like the build quality has been overall, like completely objectively, you know, whether you like the Gundam design or not, just, you know, objectively as a build, it's a great build. Really, really nice build so far. So I mean, if you're just looking for something different, unique, and interesting to build, you'll love this kit. Whether, you know, it's exactly what you want it to look like or not. So I can tell you that. So just the shield and the beam rifle left. That's going to do it for this guy. Is it as flimsy as the RG counterpart? No, not at all. And one thing that I've been really impressed about with this kit throughout the build is all the engineering that's gone into making the kit as stable as it is. You can tell there's a lot of points of engineering that were designed in a way to make sure that it's a very stable build. So no, it's definitely not going to feel flimsy in any way. Let's see. The clear part has a particular way of going in there. I'm going to try to be careful because I really don't want to lose that piece. There we go. All right, so there's the beam rifle. And the shield. Even the shield. And see, this is like another part where it could have like gone pretty simple with this, but I mean, even here on the shield, you can see like the color separation, the details of everything is just really, really nice. I'm an MGSD believer. That said, let me see here. That said, I can't say that this is going to be like my new favorite line ever, that I'm just only ever going to build MGSD kits from now on. Certainly not by any means, that's not the case, but when I say that, you know, I'm a believer, what I mean is that I'm a believer in just how great of a job that Bandai did on this kit, because they did a really, really good job, I have to say. Okay, so there we go. That's it for the kit, guys. Really cool. Any last questions before I wrap up the stream here for today? Ask questions about the build, or feel free to ask anything about whatever you want, really. It's Friday, so I hope you guys have a great weekend. The review that is uploaded, that'll be coming up, that's scheduled to post this evening, will be the Frame Arms Girl Ayatsuki. And the MOOC review for this weekend, that will be up tomorrow, is the Gundam Hobby Life here. And next week, I'm not sure. I can tell you definitely next week will be the HG Witch from Mercury, Lefrith and Lefrith Thorn reviews. Other than that, can't say for sure what'll be coming up next week. As far as any other reviews and or live builds or anything else like that, TBD. But what are those kits in your background? Where? Where? I don't know where you guys looking. Let me switch here. Right here? You can kind of see the Gelgoog is right there. That's the winter camo Gelgoog that I made. And then that one in the case is that's actually the SDHG Hazenplay that Ryan Lau made for me. I think that's the only kits you can really see in the background at the moment. Yeah, the MOOC review. Yeah, look forward to the MOOC review tomorrow. It's a lot of really good stuff in there, especially if you like 00. It's kind of all like 00 theme. There's a couple of non-00 stuff in there, but it's mostly 00 stuff. Was it a pretty easy build, Duo Maxwell asked? Yeah, like I was kind of mentioning a couple points along the way, is that they really did a good job of capturing the essence of both MG and SD. So like, one of the things that makes SD kits what they are is the simplicity of the build, and I think they did do a good job of keeping this kit very simple while still doing everything that it needs to do to be an MG, which is being, somewhat complex, having all the color separation and the inner frame and everything like that. So there's a good amount of that, but it's still a pretty simple build. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of points in the manual where you saw like I had like the locking pegs where you had to put something on a peg at a certain angle and then turn it to make sure that it's locked onto there. I mean, that you just make sure that you pay attention to the manual, and yeah, if you've not built a lot of kits, seeing something like that in the build, seeing something like that in the manual, it's not something that Bandai does a lot. So it might be your first time running into that sort of mechanic, and if it is your first time, you may be looking at it like, oh, why is it working that way? But it actually makes the kit more solid. So it's a good engineering point that they included quite a bit in this kit. But if it's your first time seeing it, it may kind of throw you off a little bit. But other than that, yeah, very simple build. Yeah, there's also the Dendrobium is here as well. Normally the Dendrobium is here on this table, but you know, to do the live stream I have to move it. So that's another project that I need to work on just because it's taking up so much space here in my office. So if I can get my airbrush up and running, get to working on the Dendrobium and get that project done, that would be something that would be nice to have that done and out of the way. So Super asking, did I get the full mechanics aerial? So yeah, just once again, we talked about this earlier, but I'll just say once again that I will probably not be reviewing the full mechanics aerial. I didn't order one, and I don't really plan to review it. People have been asking, but I don't know, I just kind of don't really want to. And other reviewers are going to review it, so I mean, I feel like there'll be plenty of reviews out there for you guys. But I don't know, don't really. There's a lot of other stuff that I would want to review that'll be things that will have less coverage on YouTube. So like different P-Bandai stuff or Kotobukiya stuff that is much more interesting to me and will probably have less reviews out on YouTube. So that stuff's, I feel like, a better use of my time than the full mechanics aerial. Every Gundam reviewer is going to review that. So if it's not of really too much interest to me personally, it's one of those ones that I'm just kind of opting to pass on. But if they make an SD MG Sinanju, it's probably the only MG that can hold the bazooka rifle combo. Yeah, yep, maybe we'll have to see about that. I don't know. It's good point though. Any loose joints? As far as I can tell, no. I don't think there's going to be any loose joints on this. It all feels quite solid, really. I like the Origins line, Zaku's best details and all that. Yeah, those are really nice, definitely. Okay. Anyway, if there's nothing else, then one thing I will remind you guys about, of course, check out USA Gundam Store, where I don't remember if we have this kit in stock. Let me check. We have it in stock. I know we got some in, and I think we had filled all of our pre-orders. I don't remember. Oh, we have it in stock at the moment, actually. Yeah. So if you guys want to check it out, I mean, you can wait for the review if you want. Obviously, I'll have the review out as soon as I can for you guys, beginning of next week. But I can tell you now, if you don't feel like waiting for the review, if you've been waiting to decide if you really want to order one or not, I can tell you, order one, I would say. So we got it in stock. Check it out there. But another plug that I want to be sure to add in here before the end of the stream is to check out Lincoln's website, paintonplastic.com. Lincoln's second book is up for pre-order now. I pre-ordered mine this morning. We're looking forward to his new book. So if you guys are also fans of Machining Krieger and you are fans of Lincoln's work and want to support him, I would recommend you guys to check out his website and pre-order the book. I'm not sure, like, if you're in the US and you wanted to be able to buy it from us here at USA Gundam Store, I'm not sure yet if we're going to be getting some. Like we did with the first book, we ordered like a couple boxes of them, so we had them here in stock at USA Gundam Store, which was nice for people in the US to buy them from us. You could get them for a little bit cheaper just because the shipping wasn't quite as expensive as getting them from Australia. If you order them from Lincoln directly, like the shipping was much more expensive. So being able to order them from us here at USA Gundam Store made it a bit cheaper for those of you guys who are in the US. I'm not sure yet at this point now if we're going to be getting some of the second book or not. I can't say for sure. I would think that maybe we will, but anyway, just a little side tangent there. But for those of you guys who are, like I said, interested in Machining Krieger and Lincoln's work, just thought I'd throw that out there because I saw that he had put that up for pre-order this morning, so I'm excited about that. That's it for this live build. Right, guys, happy Friday, happy weekend, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.